Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Kurniawati, an English education student 2017, Universitas Negeri Semarang. So, in this occasion, I would like to present the results of my final project entitled The Influence of Arabic Sounds of tha and the in the pronunciation of the English sounds of th and the in students reading aloud. Okay, in this presentation, there are five chapters. Okay, first is chapter 1, introduction, and then chapter 2, review of related literature, and then chapter 3, research methodology. Next is chapter 4, findings and discussion, and the last one is chapter 5, conclusion and suggestions. Well, now we go to chapter 1, introduction. Okay, these are several things that formed the background of the study. As we know that learning English is essential because it is international language that it used to connect one country to another country in this world. And to have good English skill, mastering all the aspects of English language is required. And one of the English aspect is speaking. Speaking itself has a feature that has important role in building intelligible communication. It is pronunciation. Yeah. However, having fluent pronunciation is difficult for Indonesian because, yeah, there is the main problem. It is a different sound between Indonesian language and English language, like diphthong or consonant sound. But in this study, I focus on consonant sound. And the two English consonants that do not in Indonesian language are sounds the and the. In this case, in producing the sound, students replace them with sounds the and the that exist in their mother language. This problem was stated by Irianto et al. 2018. Because of the way that students use in producing the sound, it causes unintelligible pronunciation, as what I said before, that it can evoke a communication breakdown. However, according to Ababneh, there is another way to produce the English sounds. He said that the sounds the and the are similar to the Arabic sounds the and the. Meanwhile, many Islamic schools or private schools are in Indonesia which have the Madrasatul Quran program. It means that students are taught to read Quran correctly and fluently. So they have become accustomed to the Arabic sounds. So by the existence of this program, it is assumed that it influences the students to better pronounce the English sounds of the and the. Thus, to know whether Arabic sounds the and the influence in English sounds the and the or not for Indonesian students, I did this research. Next is why I chose this topic. So there are two reasons here. The first one is fluent pronunciation. Yeah, a good pronunciation eases the listeners to reach the extended message. Meanwhile, having fluent pronunciation takes more effort, takes time and process because students in a foreign language face many interferences. The second one is the Indonesian language does not have consonants the and the. For students in Arabic, consonants the and the are easier to be pronounced because they are similar to Arabic sounds tha and the. And even though many students learn to read Quran in Indonesia, but they still use Bahasa Indonesia or local language as their mother language, like Javanese or Sundanese. And the next is research problems. So it talks about the questions that appear because of the background of the existing the issues. And can then be studied to get the answers or the result. Okay, number one is how well are the students' pronunciation skills of English sounds the and the. So I intended to know how is the students' pronunciation skill of English sounds. And the second is what are the influences of Arabic sounds the and the in Indonesian students' pronunciation of the English sounds the and the. And the last one is how is the student's perception of the ease and difficulty in pronouncing Arabic and English sounds. Okay, that's all about chapter 1. And now we go to chapter 2. Okay, yeah, it is previous studies. So I provided 4 articles here. The first articles taken from Adila and Refnaldi 2019, entitled Pronunciation Errors Made by Senior High School Students in Speaking Performance. And the result is the cause of pronunciation errors is that the student still had interference from mother tongue. They also lacked the opportunity to use English in their daily life. The second, entitled An Analysis of Pronunciation Errors of English Consonants the and the by the students of the English Education Study Program of University of Bengkulu by Irianto et al. 2018. They said that most students substitute English consonants the into Indonesian sound te and English consonants the into Indonesian sound de. So, next, the third article is entitled The Contribution of Arabic Phonology to English Pronunciation by Indica 2019. It is talks about that the subjects of the research are succeeded in pronunciation because producing English sounds the and the which are absent in Bahasa Indonesia can be found in Arabic sounds. And the last one is by Gusdian and Lestiono 2017, entitled Arriving at English Pronunciation by Means of Arabic Consonant Sounds, a case study on English foreign learning students in Indonesian context. They stated that the phonological features in Arabic can facilitate the students to pronounce English words. And next, according to those previous studies, it concluded that there are interferences that cause pronunciation errors, and one of them is mother language interference. Students change the English consonant sounds the and the into their mother language sounds like the and the. Meanwhile, this problem can be solved by using Arabic sounds that are similar to English sounds. Okay, now we go to review of theoretical background. So, in my research, I followed this theory. They are teaching pronunciation and teaching reading theory. It is according to Rita and then Pang. Rita said that the foremost major organizing structure that native speakers rely on to the process speech are rhythm and intonation. And then teaching reading, according to Pang and et al., is guided practice in reading generally increase fluency. And next is a theory about definition of pronunciation, and then the importance of pronunciation. And next is the cause of pronunciation problems, and one of the cause of pronunciation problems is like what I said before. It is mother language interference. And next is English consonants and Arabic consonants. So you can see here that English consonants has 24 consonants according to Lestiana and Gustian. And then Arabic consonants here are like sa, da, ta, the, tha, fa, and etc. And next is interdental consonants. Yeah, in English, interdental consonants are pronounced by inserting the tongue tip between the teeth. It according Franklin, Rodman, and Helms, 2011. And the last theory that I used is the influences of Arabic sounds in English sounds. So the students have an Islamic science class where they have to learn recite the Quran. It makes the researcher assume that the students know the Arabic interdental consonants very well. Some basic consonants, tha and the, are employed. Yeah, it is taken from Gustian and Lestiano 2018. Okay, now is theoretical framework. So these are theory about pronunciation. In this study, I follow all these theories to study deeper about pronunciation and then compare both Arabic sounds and English sounds. Then I can analyze the influence of Arabic sounds. Yeah, before I analyze, after comparing Arabic sounds and English sounds, I can see that both Arabic sounds tha and the and English sounds tha and the are in same types. It is in the dental consonants. Okay, now we move on chapter 3, research methodology. Yeah, in this study, I use pre-experimental research design using one-shot case study with a quantitative approach. And this research focuses on the effect of the Arabic sounds tha and the towards students' pronunciation of English consonants the and the. And about the population ensemble, a student in the 11th grade of SMA Kiagengirindemba of the first semester in 2020 or until 2022, consisting of 4 classes. It is the population, and about the sample is the 11th grade of science or MIPA 2 students in SMA Kiagengirindemba with the total 27 students. Alright, and next is, okay, this is the variables that I used and then the hypotheses here. And to obtain the data, I used test and questionnaire. And for the research instrument, I used a list of English and Arabic words. And then in the last, to analyze the data, I used EBM SPSS 22 version. So in the output of this SPSS, we can see that the score of mean and then standard deviation score and then is t-test. Okay, now we go to chapter 4, findings and discussion. Yeah, first I want to show you the table of student score in spoken test. Yeah, this is the Arabic score of spoken test and this is the English score of spoken test. Yeah, we can see that between Arabic and English score there is a significant difference. For Arabic score, most of students can reach a high score and it is almost a perfect score. But in English, there are students who reach only 0 score. For example, students with initial name MA, yeah, he reached a good score in Arabic, but in English, he just reached score 29 for sounds the in initial position and then 8 for sounds the in the middle position, and the other score are 0. Okay. That's about the student score. And now we go to the first finding. It talks about the students' pronunciation skills of English sounds the and the. If we look at the previous table, we can conclude that the students' English pronunciation is lower than the Arabic pronunciation. But in this table is the output of the analyzing of based on the previous data or score. And these tables show that the score mean, standard deviation, and standard error mean of the English consonants based on their position. Okay, first it sounds the in initial, and then sounds the in the middle, sounds the in the final position. The next is sounds the in the initial position, the in the middle, and then the in the final position. Between sounds the and the, there's also have a different significance different score. The sounds the is lower than sounds the, and it found that the students' Arabic pronunciation is better than English pronunciation, as what I said before, according to the table of student score. And students made some pronunciation errors based on the position of consonants in English. And the hardest pronunciation was located in the initial and middle position. You can see that the two lowest mean score are sounds the in the initial position and sounds the in the middle position. Those sounds were replaced with sounds the and the. Okay, now we go to next finding. It is the influences of Arabic sounds the and the in Indonesian students' pronunciation of the English sounds the and the. Yeah, in this finding, I compared between the students' pronunciation of Arabic sounds and the English pronunciation of students' English pronunciation, and the result showed that the mean score is 83.65, and then standard deviation, standard error mean, and the main part is the score of significant two-tailed. Yeah, in this table it showed that the score of significant two-tailed is 0.00, while the significant level is 0.05. It means that the significant two-tailed or significant score, it is lower than significant level. And it found that students improved English pronunciation after knowing a little of the English sound symbol and how to pronounce them. They just need more time to practice and the English sounds of the and applied the pronunciation of Arabic sounds, especially sounds the and the. Okay. And the last is the finding of the students' perception of the ease and difficulty in pronouncing Arabic and English sounds. So, in this finding, I used a questionnaire to obtain the data, and this is the output of the analyzing the data. One sample test table. Yeah. According to this table, it found that first, the result of a questionnaire was that the students mastered Arabic consonants, even they could pronounce them easily and fluently. It was because Arabic was learned and practiced every single day since they were a child, and thus the students were familiar with Arabic sounds, particularly the pronunciation of sounds tha and the. And the second findings is the students revealed that they were helped with the test. They just needed more practice to pronounce the English sounds of the and applied the pronunciation of Arabic sounds of the and the. Because according to the result, they revealed that they practice English rarely. They practice when they have an English class. So it is only 2 or 3 times a week. Okay, that is about chapter 4, and the last one is chapter 5. It talk about conclusions and suggestions. So in this research, the conclusions are there were still students whose pronunciation skills of English sounds the and the were lower than Arabic sounds the and the. It was because of the non-existence of sounds the and the in students' mother language, and then lack of practice and students' knowledge about the English sound system. Those are problems that supported pronunciation error. Next is student succeed in producing sounds the and the that absent in Bahasa Indonesia because they could be found in Arabic. In other words, Arabic sounds gave them positive effects in pronunciation ability, leading to improving students' self-confidence in reading English words. And according to the questionnaire result, the students became aware of the similarities between Arabic sounds and English sounds. And by this activity, they felt more confident in uh, English class or in English learning because they were encouraged by their background who could pronounce the Arabic sounds of tha and da. And the last is the suggestions. So these are suggestions for teachers, students, and future researcher. The first one is for teachers. The teachers should work hard to have good pronunciation because teachers are a model that will be always imitated by the student in their every movement. And second is for students. Students must be aware of the importance of pronunciation. They have known the similarities between the Arabic sounds tha and the and English sounds tha and the. Thence, they have to practice more. And the last is for the future researcher. If a researcher will do a study in the same field, it kindly involves a more extensive population. Thus, the researcher can analyze how Indonesian students can increase their pronunciation ability. Okay, I think that's all about my presentation. Thank you. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.